What's good, YouTube? Well, I know it's been a few weeks since I've been back on. I haven't been feeling good at all. I had a bad cold. It was like a cold mixed with flu. I don't know what it quite was, but it was horrible. It was just really, really bad. I couldn't barely do anything. I was so sick that I even messed up signing up for my classes and messed up with my whole books and everything. Thank God everything is back straight. Everything is back to normal a little bit, and plus when you bring in a new year too, it take a minute to kind of get adjusted. So you gotta remember we only about 3 weeks into the new year. Um, well, I haven't been able to really exercise because I haven't had the energy to. Which when I started out my weight loss journey, I already decided that I was not gonna really focus on exercise just yet because I need to actually go to the doctor to find out what's wrong with me because I'm constantly tired all the time, and I'll take vitamins, I'll get 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and I will still wake up just as tired as I did when I got up. And I'm like, why is my energy so low? Of course, I study maybe 5 or 6 hours a day. I clean up, I spend time with my family. Then I have evening classes, and that's like 3 hours long sometimes. Most of the time it's only like 2 hours long, an hour and a half, something like that. And so I'm trying to figure out why I'm so tired though. But once I'm able to kind of figure that out, then I think I'll be able to go on from there and begin the exercise part of it, which this first part I just kind of wanted to get into a good eating habit routine. I'm not in a rush to lose the weight because of course I was not in a rush to put the weight on. So excuse me, I'm still dealing with the sinus and cold. But so yeah, I'm just kind of taking my time, taking it easy a little bit. I'm changing my eating habits. I'm still eating kind of what I want, but I'm eating it in smaller portions, and then I'm cutting the calories in half. Like instead of eating a whole Snickers, I took and I ate half yesterday, and I might eat the other half today. So I'm trying to kind of break it down because I notice when I eat smaller portions, my body tends to burn more fat quickly. I haven't really taken any weight loss supplement pills since the first day I discovered I had the cold, and I knew that day before you could tell when something's up with your body, and I knew that day before. I was like, I got this cold. So then I got up, I took the pill, and then immediately, like after that, I started feeling boom. It hit me like I really got this cold. So, it is what it is. But life goes on, and I have to continue to do my work and be a sister, be a daughter. Anyway, life doesn't stop just because something going on personally in your life. You have to kind of get around that and get to moving. But I can tell that my stomach it feels tighter. Um, if you look, my neck it looks a little bit smaller. My face is a little bit smaller. One because I was sick, and two because I made sure that while I was sick, I still cut back. I didn't really eat much, not on purpose, but because I didn't feel like eating. Because when you get a cold, your appetite like dissipates. But even after that, I still kind of just haven't been eating like that. Like normally, I'll get up and I'll eat this and I'll eat that. I try to make sure that I only eat a few times a day. You know what I'm saying, and space out my meals a little bit, but at the same time, try to make sure my meals are a little bit smaller. That way, my body will burn off the fat, and I'll be burning a little bit more calories than I'm actually taking in. And it seems to be working for me. When I was a teenager, I had a routine. I still ate what I wanted to eat, but I ate smaller portions, and I used to have to walk like I say maybe like a good between 2 to 3, maybe 4 miles to school in the morning time because I had more energy. Then in the evening time, I would take the bus back home. But then I would come in and I would eat my dinner. I would go to school and eat breakfast. Then of course I would eat lunch, and they were probably putting all kind of fats in it. But then when I go outside for recreation time, I would be standing. I wouldn't be sitting, so I'm kind of like walking around leisurely or whatever, or just talking to people. So I'm kind of burning calories just doing that. Then I would go and for my evening classes, I would get out of school at 3. Sometimes I would walk home after that before I started getting my tokens because I was in DC, Washington DC at that time. Or I would after I started getting my tokens, I would take the bus home. I would get me like some corn chips and put some hot sauce on it. That's what I wanted, and that was the only thing that was kind of close to a snack, and maybe I'd get a fruit. Then a couple of hours later, I would eat dinner. But then at night, I would drink a Slim Fast, and then do it all over again. And I started seeing results just by doing that because my portions was more controlled. You know what I'm saying? So now I try to make sure I have more vegetables and I have starches. I try not to eat as many starches as I did. Sometimes, everybody have your days where you mess up and you kind of eat a little more starches than you intend to. But I try to make sure I got some good advice from one of the other YouTubers on here. I cannot remember how to pronounce her name. I always do this. But she said that she tries to make sure that if she has an off day where she kind of eats terribly, that she offsets that with several days of eating correctly. And I'm like, that makes sense because I have days when I binge. Women, we get cycles and cravings and stuff like that. But even with that, I try to make sure that I watch it. Like I could have ate 3 bags of smaller chips. I mean, 2 bags of the smaller chips. Like the 50-cent ones. But I decided to go ahead and just eat one. I could have ate 2 hoagie sandwiches last night, but I decided to eat one, which they were like that big. They're not that big. And I try not to put a whole lot of luncheon meat on it and everything. Because I can always tell my salt intake is a little bit too much because I get water right on my knees and it aches like crazy. It hurts. One time I did that and man, my leg was aching for like 2 weeks because of that. And I would take water pills and drink cranberry tea and water and it still was like that. It took a good minute for that to stop. But you live and you learn, and I'm learning weight loss is all about how your body reacts to it. It's about how your body burns fat, what works for you. So I'm kind of implementing stuff from the past and stuff that I'm learning now because I don't always have fruits and vegetables available to me. I try to have it as much as I can, but sometimes, it gets a little tight and you stuck with the starches. So what I do is I just make sure that I kind of just, space out my eating and eat when it's necessary and not just eat when I'm just, not hungry. That's another thing that I try not to do. I try not to eat if I'm not hungry. Now, if I'm craving something, I learned the hard way. If you're craving it, go ahead and eat a little bit of it and then let that be done. Let that satisfy you. And it's working for me. That way I don't overindulge later on or in the evening or whatever like that. So I'm working on it. Like I said, I've messed up a few times here and there, but I try to offset that by doing some good things. I try to tell myself a no a little more than I say yes. But I try not to say no so much to where my body feel deprived. If I feel deprived of anything, then I binge. But if I offset it by giving in to it just a little bit here and there, then I do better. So that's pretty much what I've been up to, and that's pretty much what I'm going to stick to. I live with children. And, and, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. So, and that's pretty much what I'm going to stick to for a little while. But I still want to check in with you all and give you all a video and not just be like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. Only reason why I didn't do one last week, like I said, I was tired. And I was sick. So, that's pretty much it for me. I got to get on to my studying because I'm several hours behind because I was asleep because my body was exhausted. Because I did actually do a little bit of exercise unintentionally yesterday. And so I'm paying the price for it today because my body is so sluggish. untook vitamins and got like several hours of sleep, and it ain't make no difference. So, like I said, I think it's time for me to go to a doctor. But I'll keep y'all updated whenever that is. I had to figure all that out. But y'all stay tuned, and I'm gonna try my best to come on here next week. And y'all have a good day. Bye bye.